Now, if a woman revealed she was becoming a mother at 72, the world would recoil in horror, disgusted and, of course, intrigued how that was even medically possible. But when a man makes the same announcement, a few wry smiles and some light-hearted jokes about him being a dirty dog. Cue onto the public stage a gyrating Mick Jagger, who at the grand age of 72 is expecting his 8th child with 29-year-old American ballerina Melanie Hamrick. And 3 years his junior, Ronnie Wood, at 69 last month, he had twins with his third wife, Sally Humphreys, who's the ripe old age of 38. OK, guys, well done for proving your virility again. But this just exposes how we still hold women to different standards to men. There can be health risks for the babies of older fathers, but more than that, it reinforces the notion that children are a woman's responsibility. Oh, it's OK that the father's probably only got 10 good years left in him because the woman will pick up the pieces and look after the child forevermore. Mick and Ronnie, it's time you both heeded the words of your own song. You can't, or at least you shouldn't, always get what you want.
This is an interesting one for me. I'm 36 and I don't feel ready for children, not least because I haven't got a partner yet, but I feel massively under pressure because of my biological clock. Whether I'm ready or not is kind of irrelevant because my body is going to dictate to me when I have children. Mm-hmm. And that frustrates me because there's very little I can do about it. When I see these older guys having these kids with these very much younger girls, first of all, I think it's a bit sad, really. I look at these young, beautiful girls having these kids with these ageing guys.
Maybe they're happy.
And yeah, but I just look at that and I just
maybe
think...
they're happy.
I just look at that and I think,
oh, so you're
hang on a
judgment.
second.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
I'm
okay.
judging them.
Yeah, so
I
you
look
know
at
better
them,
than them.
I look at them and I just think, what is attracting you to this?
Wait a minute,
but
please.
the reason that the guys are having these children in their 60s and their 70s is because they can. They biologically can.
So you're jealous?
No, I think it's
No,
because...
I'm not jealous. I just
of
think
older men, I mean, their capacity not to have that pressure.
I think they're having them
it's
because
frustrating.
the women want them to them. I think the women are the ones who are driving this.
Yeah.
The men are just rolling over and thinking, OK, well, you know, I'll give her what she wants. I
agree with you. I mean, Mick Jagger's not
them.
going to sit there and they're going to go up to him and say, oh, I want a child. He's probably thinking, I want to run for the hills.
He's a great
He wants to run for the hills.
two.
It's the women who want the children.
But it takes
and
two
you
to
can't
tango.
compare women to men because men don't have the menopause. So men
they don't
can
have
keep
the
going on
biological
until they're 100.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Can I just
Yes.
build on a point that I raised in the intro, which is that actually there are growing numbers of journals, but shock horror, they've not done a lot of medical research on this, which show the risks, the actual biological risks to children born to older dads. There is a significant increased risk of certain cancers, schizophrenia and birth defects. Women carry around this chalice of guilt if they think they're going to, in any way, by having a child later, harm that child. Yes, it may be the women driving it, but men can put on a condom. Stop themselves from having children.
But what we're talking about is these great granddads, these ageing rockers, giving their wives and girlfriends the children that I think the wives and girlfriends desperately want. Yeah. And also, as I wrote in my Mail on Sunday column last week, these aren't any old common and garden babies these women are having. They're having Ronnie Wood's baby. They're having Mick Jagger's baby. Of course the men are going to give them children. It's like the wife is killing two birds with one stone.
Possibly.
She's getting a baby, a Jagger baby, and she's getting her pension sorted. I mean, you really think that Mick Jagger wanted this to happen, or Melanie Hamrick?
Hold on a second. Maybe, just maybe, the women are doing it because they love the respective blokes. They don't see it as the cash cow that you're suggesting.
No.
And you actually started this conversation with the words, if a woman. Why do you have to see everything through the prism of that?
Because
why can you?
I thought you said I could.
There was no extraordinary.
Go on, let Nick.
There's no bloody point. There's no bloody point.
But she is right that we can't even get our heads around the idea of a 72-year-old woman having. We can't get our heads around the idea of a 72-year-old woman having a great grandchild, can we?
Let me answer your question if I interrupted you. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you. I thought you asked a question. It's usually got a question mark at the end of it. If you ask me why I see everything from the point of view of a woman, it's because up until about 30 or 40 years ago, you wouldn't have never seen a sight like this, a television programme with the views of women coming through and through and through. We've had a situation where we haven't heard from women for most of our lives throughout all the generations. So forgive me for having that vantage point.
But what I find really, really unpalatable from most of the panel, with the exception of Michelle, who I think's nailed it, which is this all comes down to the menopause, and try as you will, there's nothing medically that you can do yet, although there's been stories around some kind of...
No, there has been stories this week.
Hold on. What is unpalatable is the sentiment that's coming from here, which I think is downright wrong, that these women are doing it purely for cash reasons.
That's not what I was arguing about.
Well, there has been that suggestion, and that is simply wrong. Why
Who
couldn't
said
a
that,
20...
Nick? Who said that?
You described... Well, let's not keep going over it, Rach, because I don't think it's a particularly clever thing.
She has a Jagger baby, which is what she wanted, and she sorted out her pension.
No, maybe a 29-year-old woman can love a 72-year-old bloke. I actually don't know the ages.
I'm not saying she doesn't.
But she's also a successful ballerina and isn't moving and is living in New York. Let's put that to one side for the moment. Do you accept at least, Nick, do you accept that it reinforces the notion that the father is slightly redundant if he's only probably got 15 years left on the earth?
For goodness sake. We're talking about Rolling Stones here.
I see your point, right, but I think each to their own, and I don't think you should sit there and judge, because, you know, they're not sitting judging you and what you're up to, and I'm sure you don't live in a perfect world.
Jagger,
no, I know that, but it's whatever goes on in their lives is up to them. Do I think it's right? I don't think I would have a baby at 72.
Michelle, point of information on this topic. Madame Hamrick, or Mademoiselle Hamrick, and Mr. Jagger are not even going to be living on the same continent. So Emma has a point that this is a baby for her. It's not going to be a shared child,
Rachel,
is it?
These are Rolling Stones.
I know, I've said that myself.
Story. Oh, no, I must get home for bath
Emma
night.
has a point, which is that this is going to be Melanie Hamrick's baby. Nick Jagger has fathered it and will pay for it. Yes. Is that what we call parenting?
What, parenting? Oh, so you're now going to give us the guide to parenting, are you?
No, but what it does do is underscore the fact that the man is a sperm donor in this case. He's not an actual father,
Why would you
particularly.
not allow that perhaps they genuinely like each other?
I'm not saying
but
they
you keep coming back to this point.
But I think it's actually...
If
I don't agree
like
with
each
it,
other,
but it's
why aren't they
better
going to live together and share the baby?
It's better than a drug user bringing out a baby into the world, isn't it?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is,
yes,
they've got the money, they're happy, they're in love. I know he's older, but each to their own.
Come on, 8 kids as well. He's not heard of, he obviously hasn't
heard. He's a
great-grandfather,
and this woman wasn't even born when any of his hits were out. I mean, I know I'm getting old when I'm older than one of Mick Jagger's women. You know, I really made it, but that's a separate point.
Maybe if you're a great-granddad, you should put a...
But he is Mick Jagger,
you should put a knot in it.
Yeah.
He's not just any old great-granddad, is he? He's not like a chopped floor fitter.
For me, the point remains, it's a really simple one. It's just guys have kids older because they can. If I could have... if I'm not ready for children aged 36...
Do you want Mick Jagger's number? Is this what I'm hearing from you?
No, I absolutely don't. But my point is, the point remains that the reason that we've got this massive disconnect between people over here in their 70s having kids and women over here unable to or not doing so is because we can't. It's a biological restriction.
But I think you should stop worrying about everyone else and just worry about yourself.
I was trying to draw out this bigger message that it sends, which is, to be honest, I don't really care, because you're right, it's different in the sense of it's a Rolling Stone. But what I think it sends is the message that men can just do this and then women literally pick up the baby. And that is, and men are seen as strong for their fecundity.
The word is baby father, isn't it? You know, you're just the father of the child.
Do you think they're being forced to give birth against their will, these two women?
I'm not saying they're being forced, but it's a reinforced narrative of a patriarchal society.
But Emma, it's her choice. She's the one that's got herself...
Or a matriarchal society, where the women get what they want and they have to take care of the baby when they get it.
I like that spin. It's more positive, Rachel. You've cheered me up.
It's her choice. She wanted to get herself pregnant.
I'm not denying that.
You can... She's a grown woman. You can prevent things from happening. So she's probably both planned it. Or maybe she's planned it.
I love the fact they declared themselves surprised by the news as if they didn't know how it had happened.
Well, whatever we have learnt from that debate, we move on.